another IDW quarterly shareholders call and another complete destruction of this company that is circling the drain. Meanwhile, Heather Antos is tweeting while Rome burns and saying the most ridiculous things given the situation. I'm good at business. Oh boy. Well, she's bad for business, but we'll get into that in just a moment. My name's John Delarose, everybody, the most trusted name in comics news. Appreciate you guys for being here. Please smash that like and subscribe button. Join us here as we talk about all things that are happening in the industry. And I would love for you to sign up for my newsletter, too. This is in case something happens to the channel or whatnot. You get informed about my new releases and what's going on with me. I'm a writer, a comic book guy here, as you might be aware. And for signing up, you get a nice novella, which is part of my steampunk deal, a full novel, and then a graphic novel in Flying Sparks. Now, this is volume 1 of Flying Sparks, and I give it away because I've got 5 full volumes of this, and I know that it just gets way, way better as it goes along, and it really pays off the stuff that builds in volume 1. So I want you to in on this, and even to the point of giving it free. We're crazy over here giving things free. But join us, and I appreciate you for being there. That link's in the description below. Also got links to my web store, Amazon, and Subscribestar if you want to subscribe to us as well. Okay, so Heather going at business is really ironic right here. She's knocking Elon. Elon's bad at business, of course. The richest dude in the world. He built a lot of business, and Heather, of course, from her wherever she's at, is criticizing that. Now, while she's criticizing this, her company is falling apart. Now, she's the head of licensing. So IDW's had its building blocks on licensing for the last several years. It's done terrible. They've been losing money left and right, and they've been losing licenses and are in danger of losing licenses. And so what she's done has not helped whatsoever. So criticizing business, probably not the best look right now, especially as IDW posts another quarterly loss. Here we go. IDW Media Holdings continues to downsize. Amazing. It's constant. Another quarterly loss ending Q2 April 30th. They lost $900,000 in the quarter. A big improvement from the $1.9 million loss a year ago for the quarter. I guess so. But if you keep having losses like that over and over and over again, that's not good. Sales were up 4% with increases to direct market, which is mostly because of the Turtles comics. And DTC sales increased retailer exclusive orders, offsetting increases in book returns. I guess there's been more book returns. Interesting. And discounts and declines in book market sales and digital revenue. So interesting here. A couple new people got axed. IDW co-publisher Mark Doyle, gone. Book trade marketing manager Holly Etchinson, I don't know. Hopefully I pronounced that right. No longer with the company, according to their LinkedIn profiles. So 2 more layoffs hit immediately. We just keep talking layoffs and layoffs and layoffs. IDW laid off 5 management employees earlier this year. They've laid off more than 40% of their company since delisting from the New York Stock Exchange. So things have been getting worse over there. Now, we reported that a lot of licenses were in trouble as Heather's kind of run these sort of things into the ground with her woke mill content mill that nobody wants. And things are not going well over there. As much as the Turtles are kind of propping up the company, the stuff Heather's running is causing a lot of problems. And she lost the license to My Little Pony, and we heard from insider sources that a lot of that was due to Hasbro being very unhappy that they put T. Franklin on the book. T. Franklin's like a sex worker who's seems like she's on drugs, says a lot of crazy things, and of course was hired because of diversity. And you put this on a children's book when she's out there doing these kind of things online, not good. And they definitely did not like that. So that wrapped up. They lost another license aimed at little girls, which are not really gaining anything. Now they came very, very close to losing the Star Trek license this year, which would have made me happy because my gosh, the Star Trek comics have been really difficult to read lately. It's been some of the worst fan fiction I've ever read, I think, all under Heather's editorship. And with that, nobody wanted it because the Star Trek license is too expensive. So they dodged a bullet there, got a 5-year renewal. And of course, they did their last gasp effort with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles relaunch just recently. Now, the Turtles relaunch sold pretty well, but apparently they paid too much. They just fired people before this over that because apparently it was not profitable enough on that level to move the needle enough to get IDW into a better spot, and they expected higher. So with a summer not quite making it, we're looking at a major restructuring at IDW. They're changing their focus according to a shareholder call, and it's actually kind of shocking. This is a very weird, bold move because they're going to try to do their own creator-owned content, or not, they're their own owned content, rather, not creator-owned, and it's going to change things. So this came from Bleeding Cool today on, as this all comes out, IDW to publish its own superhero Bible, mafia, and serial killer books. Pretty wild. This is a crazy thing right here. I'm like, and what stood out for me is Bible. What? That's weird. So they went out and did their shareholder call. They want to remove their focus from licensing because their focus has been on licensing in recent years. And by the way, that's a very bad sign for Heather Antos. Heather Antos, as the head of licensing, obviously has not been doing a great job in getting licenses at levels that are profitable to help with them. And that's been part of the problem. That's been their focus. The bad turn to leave most of your company and what you're doing in Heather Antos' arms, obviously. It doesn't work well for comics. I mean, if they cared, they should know that. Now, this is interesting. So they plan to publish superhero Bible crime comics they own, moving away from licensed properties. And so generally they have two lines of books, licensed property, of course, Godzilla, Star Trek, Sonic, creators working for hire. And then there are the ones that are co-owned by the creators in the comic books. IDW publishes with a variable degree of media exploitation control in the contract. Now it seems they want to look more into publishing comic books that are work for hire from the creator that the publisher owns themselves. So he actually went out to an investment call and said this about this. I believe we have a tremendously talented team of great storytellers, and for us to focus on developing our own wholly owned IP as a long-term investment that will create a huge value in the underlying portfolio for our shareholders. This will include a new line of superheroes and a superhero universe. I'm looking at this, I'm like, this is a pretty bold move to go in 2024 and help try to get like a superhero universe going. The market's so saturated. We have Marvel, we have DC, we have like some Image stuff that has their own lines with Invincible and the like that. Then we've got the boys, we've got the side stuff on that. It's like, and then there's Valiant too, as like the kind of Dark Horse over there doing his thing. Mark Miller also with Dark Horse. Speaking of Dark Horse. Has kind of his own superhero thing going on too. So it's like, it's pretty flooded. That's a bold move. But I guess this is what they want to do. They want to try to get into that superhero movie game. And the only way to do it is to start now, 10 years after it's too late. after studios are cutting back on it. They're really like not a forward-thinking company. This is a really weird one, though, that I was not expecting. A retelling of biblical characters and stories set in the modern era with a modern storyline, borrowing from the stories of antiquity. Now, this is pretty interesting. Like, I like the idea of biblical characters and stories and actually promoting the Bible, but doing it revised for a modern era and modern audience, that's a stupid idea. Like, that's the whole, opposite point of biblical. This is interesting, though, and I don't know. He says, with a whole new audience to bring in talent of the comic industry, mesh it with the religious community, which is the largest book-buying community. Just seeing the success of religious cinema, a huge element of growth. Now, if he actually stays true to the Bible and actually does do honor to Christians, I don't know, could do well pretty here. But with the current talent pool, I mean, with our friends like Heather Antos, it's not exactly awe-inspiring here. Of course, we are unabashedly Christian nationalist movement over here, and we're attempting to change the culture from what's going on. But Heather's out there wearing T-shirts at conventions saying "Hail Satan," of course, cracking jokes about Christ on Easter, saying he didn't rise from the dead. And this is who you've got at the company at the moment. They really need somebody as a counterbalance. I actually emailed the CEO of IDW offering my services to help with that because I think that's important. And I would actually love to create Bible comics for IDW Publishing. So hopefully they'll hire me. I'll hold my breath. But it's a very weird thing given what's in their community right now. They need to change clearly. Then crime, serial killers, and mafia families. I mean, that's always been a staple of comic book publishing. So interesting stuff. So IDW is really making a big shift, and it's because Heather has just killed that licensing spot. Nobody wants to be around it. Nobody with any talent, at least. That whisper network that's really gotten her to a point where she can't be fired. I don't know if there's blackmail or what involved. It's kind of crazy at this point. But as the company's sinking around and everybody else is losing their shorts, how come she's still the like lone survivor standing? Even as they're trying to purge their whole licensing division at that. Makes you think. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to sign up for my newsletter in the description below. We'll be back soon.